Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Berea City Council meeting, Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. I'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please let the record reflect that a quorum is present. This time I'll call on Cora Jane Wilson to lead us in the invocation, followed by Ronnie Terrell to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Cora Jane.
If y'all would stand. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day and all your many blessings. I thank you for each and every one that's here today. Lord, I just pray that you guide the council and the mayor for the best decisions for all of our citizens. Lord, just give us your wisdom, your guidance, your counsel, and everything. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Turn around, face the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cora Jane and Ronnie. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? By Steve Davis with a second by John Payne. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the agenda? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries and the agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our April 1st, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Steve Cottle with a second by Jerry Little. Any discussion, corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries and the minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody signed up for public comment? No. We do not? Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is a proclamation. This is Prevent Child Abuse Month proclamation. And this is one of the proclamations where Madison County Judge Executive Reagan Taylor, Richmond Mayor Robert Blythe, and I jointly do the proclamation. We started doing that a few years ago. And let me make sure I get the right one here. This is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And National Child Abuse Prevention Month will be recognized throughout the United States as well as in the Commonwealth of Kentucky during the month of April. Whereas children are vital to our state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, as well as being our most vulnerable assets, and whereas all children deserve to have safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities to foster their healthy growth and development, and whereas child abuse and neglect are a community's responsibility, affecting both the current and future quality of life of a community, and whereas communities that provide parents with the support and resources to ensure all children grow to their full potential, and whereas effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because of partnerships created among all citizens. Now, therefore, we, Madison County Judge Executive Reagan Taylor, Richmond Mayor Robert Blythe, and Berea Mayor Bruce Fraley do hereby jointly proclaim April 2025 is Child Abuse Prevention Month in Madison County, Kentucky, and call upon all citizens to increase their participation in our efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the communities in which we live. And this is already signed by Mayor Blythe, Judge Taylor, and I. And we do have Victoria Binge here from CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. Did I get that right? I didn't have notes on that, Victoria, so I'm learning. So, Victoria, if you would come up and accept the proclamation, and if I could get the council members to kind of squeeze in. I forgot to do that last time, where we can get a picture. I would appreciate it.
Hey, Jerry.
She didn't use your spot.
Y'all are gonna miss me while I'm gone.
Ronnie gets too close.
He wants to pet on me.
There we go.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Victoria Benge, and I'm the Executive Director of CASA of the Wilderness Trail, and it stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, as Mayor Fraley said. And we advocate on behalf of abused and neglected children in Madison, Clark, Estill, Lee, and Owsley counties. And last year, just in Madison County, there were 313 abused and neglected children. So those are kids that are in our neighborhoods and our schools, right? And so really just asking our community and everybody to step up for these kids. They really need us, right? They are our future and just really need us to support them through all that they go through. And Kentucky is 14th in the nation for child abuse, so we're really high. So I just encourage everybody to step up for these kids because they need it. But thank you so much for having me.
And on our next item on the agenda is another proclamation. This is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, and I'm happy to welcome Wendy Lynch from our 911 team, along with several members of her team, who I'm going to let Wendy introduce here in just a minute. And this, again, is one of the proclamations. It's a joint proclamation between Madison County, the City of Richmond, and the City of Berea, who collaborate to help fund the 911 program. So another good partnership by the three governments. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, and emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property, and whereas the safety of our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Madison County 911 Emergency Communications Center, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them with information, and ensuring their safety, and whereas public safety telecommunicators of Madison County 911 have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients, and now, therefore, we, Madison County Judge Executive Reagan Taylor, Richmond Mayor Robert Blythe, and Berea Mayor Bruce Fraley do hereby jointly proclaim the week of April the 13th through the 19th, 2025, as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Berea, Richmond, and Madison County, and encourage all citizens to honor the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our communities safe. So, Wendy, if your team and you would like to come up and receive the proclamation, I should have had you guys stand in place. So.
What did I tell you? Nobody listens to me. I told you.
Are y'all ready back there?
Yeah.
No, I can't see him for mayor's head. Is there any more?
There are probably three.
Teresa.
Well, thank you all again for honoring us like you do every year. We always look forward to the joint proclamations. It gives us a chance to get out and talk about our center and kind of what we do. We are the heroes behind the headsets. The men and women of Madison County serve well. They train hard. They are their best on most people's worst day, and we take pride in that, to be that calm voice when you need someone. Not just for the callers, but also for our responders as they respond to tragic accidents and different things. And we like to be there for them and maintain and be calm. I do have with me today my Assistant Director of Operations. It's a new position for us, and that's Soraya Lakes. And then my shift supervisors, I have Andrea Brock, who is usually on the night shift, and a lot of the night shifters will recognize her voice, but this is Andrea. We got her out in the day a little bit. And Sahara Hardy, who is one of our newest shift supervisors. So they all came with us today. But again, we appreciate you honoring us, and it's an honor to serve. Thank you all.
Thank you all. And thanks again to the Wendy and the 911 team, and also Victoria for the important work that you do throughout the county, and especially here in the community of Berea. So thank you all very much. The next item on the agenda is, it's getting close to time again for the Special Needs Gala 2025. And I'm happy to introduce you, or reintroduce you, to the driving force behind the Special Needs Gala, Miss Nicole Ingold. Nicole, you have the floor. Welcome.
Thank you so much for allowing me some space and time to chat with you about the Special Needs Gala. I first want to thank you, Mayor Fraley, thank you, council members, City Administrator Sandlin, and Chief of Police Jay Hayes. I just thank you so much for allowing space and inclusion, and you have a very difficult job, and you choose to serve your community. And I know that there are a lot of negativity posts and complaints, but from this citizen in Berea, I thank you for all that you do for your community, and I am honored to serve along with you in this capacity. I wanted to first let you know about the Special Needs Gala. It is a targeted event. We send out invitations to the MSD classrooms in Madison County, and MSD stands for Moderate to Severe Disabilities. So these are the students that are going to be some of your most critically ill, some of the most profound disabled, and they would not necessarily be able to function in a typical dance or prom. So we create a safe environment for them with all of their modifications in mind. So we set up a sensory room, so if they get overwhelmed or overstimulated, our friend Kiera Everly at New Beginnings Therapy sets that up for us every year. And we are getting ready for our fourth one. So we've done this a couple years, and it has been spectacular. We invite their teachers, we invite their paraeducators, and we invite their entire family to come and be included in this celebration of who they are. We love it. We also I co-sponsor with the Berea Parks and Rec Department, Berea Tourism, and the Berea Police Department. And this is on purpose, and I'll get to that. So the motivation behind the Special Needs Gala, well, the motivation is my very own son, Ryan Ingold. Ryan, can you stand up and wave to everybody? Stand up. Yeah. So Ryan is my motivation. He is profoundly autistic. We have walked a road of advocacy, and that advocacy has looked different in every age of Ryan's life. This season of advocacy, I am focused on his protection. He is about to turn 17 years old next month. He looks like a man. He's starting to grow a mustache. And so I am focused on, how do I get the community of Berea to know my son and understand my son? So God forbid, one day he walks away from us and my husband and I are not around to translate for him, he would not be misunderstood by his community. He would be known, he would be accepted, and he would be understood. And so that is the motivation behind this entire gala. We invite city administrators, we invite departments, we invite council members to come and join and mingle with this most vulnerable population so that they would be understood. And if you're out in the community, it's really a sneaky way to create relationships so that everybody is understood and known. So as I close tonight, would I get permission for my husband and Ryan to bring you all personal invitations to the gala? Okay.
Hey, okay.
Ryan and Ben, would you come up? This is your personal invitation from me. If you all would like to come, our next Special Needs Gala is May the 2nd. That is a Friday, and it's from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And we would love for you to attend with us and just mingle with these students that want to get to know you. and want to be known by their community. So if you have any questions while they're passing out the invitations, please let me know.
At the Folk Center again this year?
It will be at the Folk Center. Thank
And-
you.
And if you haven't been, it's fun. I'll testify. Thank you. Thank you. Questions for Nicole while the cards are being passed out? Cora Jane?
I don't have a question, but I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Other questions or comments for Nicole? I do want to acknowledge that Nicole has a lot of supporters in the community. Many of those supporters are here tonight, so we appreciate
Yes.
you all being here.
I would
too.
like to highlight Steve Davis. Steve Davis has bought pretty much our entire Amazon wish list every 3 years. So, and the fourth one also.
And it is a good collaboration with city departments and
Yes.
Nicole and the young people and,
Yes.
and their families.
Yes.
That's a fun thing to see, so thank you, Nicole.
I appreciate it. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you coming in and addressing the council. Thank you. All right. The next item on the agenda is another treat. Nicole is one treat, and another treat, somebody I think you're going to enjoy hearing from tonight, is Miss Delaney Lemaster, who's here to tell us a little bit about Jobs for America's graduates. And this is important because Delaney and her peers are our future workforce. So Delaney, you can step up to either mic, and you have the floor.
Good afternoon. My name is Delaney Lemaster, and I am a freshman at Berea Community High School. And as a freshman, I am representing my school as the Vice President of Career Development and the Vice President of my state for Central Region Kentucky. But what is JAG? JAG is a nonprofit 501c organization that helps both middle and high school students excel in college and career settings. It teaches by project-based learning, career exploration, and trauma-informed care. Due to Berea Community's unfortunate financial crisis and shortfalls in our school's budget cost, we may lose a life-changing program for students. Though I may seem like a small girl from a small school, I am here today with a big story that has been shifted through one program. A program that means so much more than just the 4 words of Jobs for America's graduates. Before JAG, I faced many hardships that set me back and broke me down. Living in low income without both of my parents caused everyone around me to have preconceived notions of my future with struggle and failure. Because of everything I went through, I found myself seeking counselors, mental and physical therapists, mentors, but the only aspect that reached me was this program. This program gave me the opportunity to develop my skills by being an important part of my school and this very own community. I went from being a student that was hidden within my own shell to a leader of our school and the state of Kentucky because of JAG. In just 1 year, I was able to meet with one of our congressmen in Washington, D.C., and meet the people at our state capitol. Due to my experience with JAG, I went from being a student who follows the footsteps of others to the student that provides the support and leadership around me, not only to my school, but also statewide. I have not only gained confidence, but also self-worth. 2 years ago, I wouldn't even be standing up here today voicing my opinion. But now, I'm proudly advocating the program that has made me into the young and confident woman I am. The whole point of JAG is to build students up and help them find the future they thought they could never have. JAG makes students more than all the adversities and hardships they face. So removing this program just adds onto another hardship that the program has already removed. This program leaving takes away the support and hope for a future that students need. We are not just students that are in a small program. We are becoming the future leaders of America, building a foundation for those around us because that's what JAG has done for each and every one of us students. Our staff, strong community partners, and students are in the planning process of an event that will hopefully help save our JAG program, but we cannot do this alone. Berea schools has ultimately came up to creating a musical concert that will feature our own students, graduates, and supporters of Berea Independent. This event will be held at Union Church on May 2nd from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. For adults, it is a $20 entrance fee and a $10 entrance fee for both children and students. All money donated or raised will go to JAG Kentucky, which will then be directly placed into the funds of our Berea JAG program. I am hoping that the city of Berea will support the school that I'm sure everyone knows and loves, for not only the school, but for the community. From everyone sitting here today, we would love to have the word spread about our event to help save JAG. As Berea, our school would love for as many people possible to participate and show up and out for Berea community students who need this program just like myself. So today, I'm pleading with you to maintain stability and support within students' lives by keeping this organization at Berea Community, not only to impact the students right now, but to impact the community around us, to impact our future generations and leaders, to impact our future workforce and work environment, and to impact how our younger selves admire what we've become. And an investment in JAG is also an investment to the future of our city, Berea. Thank you. Is there any questions?
First, a comment from me. Delaney, you did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
and
appreciate
thank
you
you for having
speaking
me
for the
up
program and for yourself and for your peers. Questions or comments for Delaney from the council? Cora Jane?
If we're unable to attend, can we make a donation?
Yes, we can, and we're working on where we're gonna get like all the money that can be donated to. And I think we're planning on also being able for where you can buy a ticket and not be able to go, or just make any donation with any cost you want.
That would be great. If you get it back to the mayor, he'll give it to us, and maybe we can help. Thank you.
Okay,
You
thank
did a
you.
great job.
Other comments? Katie?
So if people want to buy a ticket or make a donation, is that set up yet? Or will there be a website eventually for people to go to? How does that work?
Yeah, that will be set up, and I think we are planning on posting it on our Facebook, and we're also gonna post more additional information. We're still in the planning process of everything, but that will definitely be set up.
Do you
Other
have a
questions or
goal,
comments? Steve?
goal for how much you need to raise to keep the program alive?
So in order to keep the program, it's kind of a high number, it's $47,000, but we have already been donated $10,000 from Jack Kentucky personally. So our goals are getting there, and we're just taking it step by step.
Other questions or comments for Delaney? John?
You'd mentioned that it was on the Facebook page. Is that the Berea Jag Kentucky?
I'm not sure if it's on there yet, but we're working on it.
But that's the page.
Yes, that's the
it
page,
would
yeah.
be on. Okay.
Other questions or comments for Delaney? And Delaney?
May 2nd. It's at Union Church from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
And Delaney, I'll tell you, and I'll also mention this for Nicole, that for both, I'm going to try to come to both. I know they're on the same night. I caught that. But I'm going to try to be at both. But for both of you, if you will, I know that you have that through the police department and Xenia. But Delaney, I know Mrs. Harris has my email. If you'll share everything about that with me, I'll make sure the council has it. And we'll put all that on our city website and social media pages and share that, and I'll try to help you. And I do want to thank you again for coming and speaking on behalf of the JAG program. I really appreciated being invited to all of your ceremonies. I think I've been to most of them since you got started. And I do want to acknowledge that Susie Harris is here, and she is the, I guess, sponsor or specialist. So she's the leader from the school, works in the school system. So Susie, we appreciate what you do. And I'll note that Susie has just accepted an appointment to the Berea Human Rights Commission. So we appreciate that. And also with Delaney is her grandmother, Linda LaForce, who serves on our Berea Housing Authority. So thank you all both for your leadership in the community and for being here. Delaney, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, and speaking of boards and commissions, I told Andrew he didn't have to come, but he came anyway. The gentleman smiling in the back is Mr. Andrew Gardner. Andrew is a friend, a longtime Berea resident, and is a Kentucky Transportation Cabinet employee as well. I had talked with Andrew and asked him if he would be interested in an appointment to the Zoning Adjustment Board. He talked to Amanda some, and I think they both like the idea. So I have on the next thing on the agenda is Zoning Adjustment Board appointment, and I'm requesting council approval of my appointment of Andrew Gardner to a 3-year term on the Zoning Adjustment Board.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second by Steve Cottle. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve my appointment of Andrew Gardner to appointment on the Zoning Adjustment Board, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries. Andrew, thank you for your willingness to serve the community and for all that you do for all of us in District 7 with the Transportation Cabinet. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is Ethics Board appointment. Peggy Baker has served on the Ethics Board for quite some time and has been the chair at one point in the past as well, I believe. Peggy's term ends, and I would like to appoint her to a new term on the Ethics Board, and I would request approval by the council. Is there a motion to approve that one? By Steve Davis with a second by John Payne. Is there any discussion on the motion to reappoint Peggy Baker to the Ethics Board? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to appoint Peggy Baker to the Ethics Board, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries, and we'll get that executive order done as well. And the next one is a Ethics Board alternate appointment. You'll recall that those are for 1 year only, so Diane, I talked to her, Diane Kirby, and she's willing to serve another year, and I would like to reappoint her to the Ethics Board, and that requires council approval. Is there a motion by John Payne? Is there a second by Teresa Centers? Any discussion on the motion to reappoint Diane Kirby to a 1 year term on the Ethics Board as an alternate? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to reappoint Diane Kirby to the Ethics Board, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries, and we'll get that executive order done as well. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 07-2025. This is the Kenway Extension Grant Support. Mr. Gilbert.
Whereas the City of Berea will provide an access road for 2 subdivisions to expand emergency access during critical situations. And whereas this project will provide the City of Berea with economic development opportunities, and whereas this project would significantly boost recreation, tourism, and community connectivity with a new multi-use trail for the citizens of Berea. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Berea, Kentucky as follows. 1, that the City Council of the City of Berea, Kentucky hereby endorses and expresses support for the city's application to the HUD Community Development Fund, EDI, entitled Kenway Extension for Community Safety and Mobility for funding in the amount of $3,008,367 for construction of an access road and multi-use trail in which application is attached hereto and incorporated herewith by reference. 2, that the City Council of the City of Berea, Kentucky firmly commits to providing the required match for the HUD Community Development Fund, EDI, entitled Kenway Extension for Community Safety and Mobility. 3, that the mayor, on behalf of the City of Berea, is hereby authorized and directed to cause application for this grant to be made through the office of the Honorable Andy Barr, United States Representative for the Kentucky 6th Congressional District, and to provide any necessary and proper documentation in furtherance of such application. 4, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Is there a motion to approve and adopt resolution number 07-2025 by Ronnie Terrell? Is there a second? By Steve Cottle. I will note that this was subject to a work session prior to tonight's meeting. Any discussion on the motion to approve and adopt resolution number 07-2025? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve and adopt Resolution Number 07-2025, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries, and Resolution Number 07-2025 is approved and adopted. The next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 08-2025, Central Kentucky Business Park Authority funding. Mr. Gilbert.
I'll summarize Resolution 08-2025 by title. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Berea, Kentucky regarding applying for community project funding economic development partnership with Scott County, Madison County, and the Lexington-Fayette Urban County government, and authorizing the mayor to represent the City of Berea in applying for said funding.
And is there a motion to approve and adopt Resolution Number 08? Steve, and a second by Katie. I'll note that this was also subject to a work session prior to tonight's meeting, and this is also funding through Congressman Barr that will request funding for this particular project in the fiscal year 26 federal budget, which begins on October 1. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve and adopt Resolution Number 08-2025? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve and adopt Resolution Number 08-2025, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries, and Resolution Number 08-2025 is approved and adopted. The next item on the agenda is Ordinance Number 05-2025, 2025 Supplement to the Code of Ordinances. This is the second reading. Mr. Gilbert.
I'll summarize ordinance number 05-2025 by title. An ordinance of the City of Berea, Kentucky adopting a supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Berea, Kentucky.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. And again, this is a second reading. Is there a motion to approve and adopt Ordinance Number 05-2025?
So moved.
By Steve Cottle. Is there a second by Cora Jane Wilson? Is there any discussion on the motion to approve and adopt Ordinance Number 05-2025? Are you ready for the question? All right, we'll go to a roll call vote, and I'll begin with Ms. Centers.
Aye.
Ms. Startzman?
Aye.
Mr. Payne?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Little?
Aye.
Mr. Cottle?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Terrell?
Aye.
Record the vote is 8 in favor, 0 opposed. Ordinance Number 05-2025 is approved and adopted. Next item on the agenda is Ordinance Number 06-2025, Land Management Development Ordinance Amendment, Section 406.6, and this is a second reading. Mr. Gilbert.
Having read ordinance number 06-2025 in its entirety at its first reading, I'll summarize the ordinance by title. An ordinance of the City of Berea, Kentucky, revising the text of Section 406.6, allowable land uses of the Land Management and Development Ordinance, to add community uses as conditionally permitted in an I-2 Industrial Park District zone, to add light manufacturing as permitted as a permitted use in I-2 Industrial Park Zone, and to add light warehousing as permitted as a permitted use in an I-2 Industrial Park Zone.
Is there a motion to approve and adopt Ordinance Number 06-2025?
So moved.
By Steve Cottle with a second by Ronnie Terrell. Is there any discussion on the ordinance, on the motion to approve and adopt Ordinance Number 6-2025? I will acknowledge that Aaron Banther's here from Our Land of Promise. Aaron has been working very closely with us on the Ferristown Community Center project, and we're pretty excited about what that's going to look like and the involvement of Our Land of Promise and the residents of Ferristown in that project. So, Aaron, I appreciate you being in here and for your support today. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve and adopt Ordinance Number 6-2025? Seeing none, I'll request a roll call vote. This time I'll begin with Mr. Terrell.
Aye.
Ms. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Cottle.
Aye.
Mr. Little.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Payne.
Aye.
Ms. Startzman.
Aye.
And Ms. Centers.
Aye.
I'll record the vote as 0 in favor, 0 opposed. Motion to approve and adopt resolution number 06-2025 carries. Thank you all.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I think that would be 8 in favor, 0 opposed.
What'd I say?
0 and 0.
I did?
Yeah. Just for the
That must have
record.
been a slip of some sort, Steve. Thank you. I'll correct that to say 8 in favor and 0 opposed. Thank you, Steve.
I thought you were just
And
testing
it's
us,
not even a
see if we
ball
were
game
paying
night.
attention.
Seeing if you're paying attention. That's right. Thank you, Steve. All right. The next item on the agenda is department head reports, and tonight's feature department head is our Codes and Planning Administrator, Amanda Haney. Amanda, welcome. You have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening. I gave my last report in November, and at that time, we were in review of several new development projects, which are now in construction. So those are some located at the north exit, including an expansion of White House Clinic. So they're expanding a parking lot out there and doing a bus garage. Ridgewood Villas is a 42-unit townhouse development that is, you'll start to see some buildings popping up there soon, and an auto zone on Richmond Road. We've had some industrial and commercial projects, such as an expansion of EQI at our industrial park. And of course, the Edwards building that we all get to admire as we drive through the college campus. While we don't have much downtime in our office, I am pleased to tell you what our crew has been working on in our, I guess, in between our busy seasons. So Brian Reed, our building codes manager, passed the commercial plumbing inspector's test, and while we don't do plumbing inspections from our office, and he won't ever become a plumbing inspector, it is a test that is required for a master code official, and so he's working toward that certification. Brian Maniscalco, who is our building and mechanical inspector, received his level 3 certification for mechanical and building plan review and inspection. So that is the highest level recognized by the state of Kentucky. So that's what we hope for all of our inspectors to achieve. So he has accomplished that. Matthew Thomas, our GIS technician, received his certified floodplain manager certification. I'm just always really impressed with our crew. The three I mentioned, Jeff, who's our electrical inspector, Melissa, always step up in those busy months to take care of inspections and calls, and then continue to educate themselves in our so-called downtime. So I certainly commend their efforts. For our MS4 program, Matthew has completed a stormwater mapping project that was required by Kentucky Division of Water, and we have submitted our annual report to them, which was actually due today. So on the stormwater side, I do want to follow up about our stormwater management program. So as you are well aware, we had what I would call a mega rain event, and a couple things that I wanted to mention following that event is that I received a email message from a developer with pictures saying this is why, with kind of a caption that says this is why drainage areas are required to be so big. And so that drainage area was full of water, worked exactly like it was designed. And then I had another builder who had constructed houses in a floodplain with all the proper permits and elevated the structure as required. And he called me to tell me that that house was dry. And so while we definitely know that we don't do everything perfectly, it is certainly nice to have affirmation from those developers to know that what we are doing is working. Currently, we have 105 open permits for single-family residences and 15 active commercial projects. And then lastly, I just want to mention that we have signed our contract with EHI Consultants for our 2025 comprehensive plan and are starting to kick that off. So this is a planning effort that will be a 10 to 20 year outlook for various elements for the city of Berea. This plan will drive very important land use decisions that drive economic development. And so in this plan, we will talk about historic and cultural resources, community facilities and services, transportation, trails, housing, all sorts of topics. And the most important thing, an exciting part of this, is that we want to hear from everyone. We want to hear from citizens, those who have been here for their entire lives. We want to hear from citizens who are new to town and are just calling Berea their new home. We would like to hear from business owners, from Berea College students and staff, and community organizations. So there will be several public input sessions and opportunities, and I'm happy to announce that our first one will be on May 15th, and tentatively 6 o'clock. There will be more information put out on that, but again, please mark your calendar for May 15th. We are hoping that our first public input session will be that evening, and are hoping to have that at the Berea, or plan to have that at the Berea Gallery and Event Center by the Pavilion. So please look for that invitation on Facebook. There will be a website created just for this project, and that website we will use to gather public input. We will be working with our consultants to ensure that we are able to get public input in various ways. So we will do that in face-to-face sessions, we will do that through surveys, and we will do that through stakeholder meetings. So certainly want to hear what people would like to see for the future of Berea. And I am happy to take any questions.
It's a month away, Amanda.
It is.
May 15th. That's coming up close, so I'm putting it in my calendar. You caught me off guard.
It is.
Questions for Amanda? Katie?
Is this the same firm that y'all have worked with in the past, or is this somebody new?
It's a new firm to us, and so we're very excited. We went through a thorough selection process, and really excited about working with this firm. Mm-hmm.
Other questions or comments for Amanda? Amanda, I was putting that in my calendar. You said May the 15th at the Berea Gallery and Event Center. What time?
Tentatively 6 p.m., so the time we've not nailed down.
6, and I will tell you that on the last one was 5 years ago, and we had to do that by Zoom.
That's
It
correct.
wasn't very desirable, and I'm really looking forward to it this time where we can have people in the flesh and have some of that interaction that you just don't get on Hollywood Squares.
Yep.
So
That's right. Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. Ronnie?
Amanda, you gonna have food for people that show up?
Of course. You can't get people there without food.
So Ronnie's coming now that you have food. Other comments or questions for Amanda? And I would just second her call for public input. This is, every 5 years we do this, and this is the best chance for public input along the way. So it's really a good process. Teresa?
Amanda, do you foresee, and are there trends in your industry to, I don't want to say relax, but to change requirements to accommodate more affordable housing options in town?
So we've actually taken those steps. We heard that call about a year ago, and that was some kind of hot topics in the planning world in terms of affordable housing and that conversation about what can cities do. Because we know that we are limited in our power. So what we have already done is updated our land management and development ordinance to, in those single-family residential zones, to allow for smaller lot sizes. Now, people can always still choose a larger lot size. So all this does is set a minimum. But it reduced that minimum to what was normally or what before was our duplex requirements. So kind of lessening the road frontage requirement and lessening the size requirement to allow for more lots per acre. And so what it essentially did is it allowed one more single-family residential lot per acre. So now instead of 4, most developers can get 5.
And what about modular versus conventional building and those sort of things? Do you see that coming, or do you suspect that will stay permitted in
modular-
specific zones?
Yeah, modular homes are, by definition, are quite different than manufactured housing. So, and that often gets interchanged. So modular are already allowed. So that is more like a kit that you can bring in, and those would be already allowed.
Right, and I guess I was thinking more of the standard manufactured housing that gets pulled in. That, and those are still only in agricultural and mobile home park here.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other questions or comments for Amanda? I do this every time you come, Amanda, but one thing that I get to see in my role with Kentucky League of Cities is the training program, and you would be surprised, you would be happy to know how many of Amanda's staff are very well trained and have all the training certificates through KLC. So that comes from leadership. So we appreciate your leadership and your commitment to making sure our folks are trained and business friendly and able to do a great job for our community and safe public safety. So thank you again. Appreciate your presentation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. Would any other department heads like to address the council? Seeing none, we'll move forward to the city administrator's report, and I'll recognize City Administrator Sean Sandlin. Sean.
Thank you, Mayor. I also wanted to take a second to recognize Amanda and thank her for her professionalism on a day-to-day basis. But not only Amanda and her staff, but all of our department heads. I lean on them heavily each day, and they all have stepped up to engage with me in their respective departments, and I really appreciate them. And it's an honor to be able to come to work every day working with such a staff that they are. It's amazing, and I look forward to coming to work every day because of it. Also, the citizens, I want to thank them for coming tonight and being engaged. It's an honor for you all to be here, whether you spoke tonight or not. Just to see you in the audience and supporting that and learning from what's going on in the city, it's very inspiring. So thank you all for being here also. Tonight, I want to talk to just a little bit about the Ellipse Street shared use process. It's continuing to move forward. The Allen Company is the only proposal that we received. That cost came in at $393,300.11, which is under our design estimate, which was like $553,000. So that was good to see that come in. There was a small glitch whenever we sent all the data up to the KYTC approval process, and that was with the Allen Company subcontractor. So we're working through that, and I think we can get through that this week and hopefully get a approval to go forward maybe the next week or so. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. Our street resurfacing RFP also came back with the only bid coming from the Allen Company. That came in at $504,189.30. That gets you about 3.15 miles of streets. So not a lot for $500,000, but different various of widths in those streets, kind of determine the tonnage that's used in that. The shooting range, I know a couple of weeks ago I told you that was almost complete. Due to the weather and some things that took place there, that didn't happen. But I am proud to say that we are moving on now to other projects. I think Jason and them end up with a great facilities out there. The parking lot's finished. The buildings will be moved by a private contractor this week, if not next. And then we'll have a contractor that we do electrical work will come in and take care of the electric work for their buildings. So really, really good space out there for our police department. Public Works, they'll be moving on, like I said, to Bridge Avenue to do some drainage projects. They're redoing several feet of curb and gutter to correct an issue down there that we've noticed over the past 2 or 3 months. Is haven't been able to get to it because of the weather and concrete plants. You just don't want to do that in the wintertime. Now, to go along with such a great week this is, there's always some bad news. And I regret to tell you that the pool, after meeting with the contractors and the engineers on the pool project, the pool will not be able to be opened this year. So the pool season looks a little different. It's we've had a lot of rain. We've had some supply issues, different things that's pushed that on out. So the pool will not be open, but we do have a plan going forward. And our plan is to open the splash pad on May the 24th. That will be free admission to all kids and adults. Those hours will be Monday through Saturday, 11 to 7 p.m., and on Sunday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. We also have, throughout the summer, the Parks Department will work and offering various free programs with 3 to 5 sessions held each week. These programs will cover a range of themes, including water play with the fire department, arts and crafts, outdoor games, nature, and fun food making events, sporting events, science events, gaming and technology, and music events. And then we'll also have our outdoor movies and those kind of things to go along with that too. So we're trying to come up with a plan every month, and we'll be posting that on our social media. And you can also subscribe to the Parks Department's newsletter to get those information too. But we'll put those out a month or a month and a half ahead of time so that everybody has the opportunity to show up and have a good time. I'll take any questions that you might have.
Sean, why are they not? I could understand a delayed opening, but why in the world would they just say we can't open before Labor Day?
So the contract, to my understanding, Steve, the contract was set to be completed on Memorial Day.
Yep.
Which the pool would open up. Well, that would have had to been perfect situation. So we had all of these rain delays. We had some supply issues that pushed those days to I think it was initially 140 something days that they tried to ask for, but we got them back down to like 60 something. But by the time that you give them the credit for the 60 days and then the schedule continues, then hiring staff and those kind of things, it just wasn't feasible for us to be able to open for 3 to 4 weeks, probably closer to 2 weeks. So just looking at the schedule, that's kind of the determination, as we said, we probably just shouldn't open and have a good plan going forward. So that's kind of where we are. I don't know if that answered your question or not, probably not, but.
It just seems like, we got 13 inches of rain, I get that, or 11 inches or whatever. But it seems like from a construction process, that would have hopefully been a couple week delay. I'm hoping, is there restitution in that contract that since we are losing an entire season because that's not a small contract. We're paying $2.5 million.
$2
million?
Just a little over 2, yeah.
For a project that, so equivalency, we also have a recreation team that uses that in the summer. So it would be like ripping up a football field and then they don't get it finished until November. That's great. It's just useless. And I'm not barking at you. I would love to see that contract, because if we didn't put something in that they don't get that finished at some point in the summer, that just seems incredibly bad. I know that's the overstatement of the year, but it's like how you can't get something done even a month late would be better than. mean, you're talking about 90 days.
Right.
That's insane.
I agree, and I share your viewpoints on all of that. I will say that Brian Reed is our project manager, and he has looked at everything really close, and he's worked with the engineers to reduce those days that they're asking for. He's done a great job at that. I would have to go back with him and look at that contract to see if there's anything that we can hold them to. But giving, some of that was, there was a couple of changes that we needed to get information from so that we can make a change order on that, and we had contingency that took care of all of that money, so there wasn't much there. To do with the pump, being the pump in a pit versus on top of the concrete, there was an issue there. I don't feel like it was anything of our doings, but we need to look into that a little further.
Go to Ronnie and then to Jerry. Ronnie?
One thing I want to say about the pool, if you remember, we started out with, we were going to be closed down all year with the plans before, and they kept backing it back. So it caught up with us with the weather and stuff, so I understand what the problem.
With the pool season being so narrow anyway and so short, it's kind of hard when you have a projection of, Memorial Day and then all this that's happened. It's very unfortunate. We understand.
Hey, I still want to ask about the water fountains at the park. I think 2 of them are working, and we got 3 that don't work.
Yeah, Priscilla addressed that at our staff meeting this week, and she's working with Roy and Andy and Herschel with her staff. We know there's an issue there, and we're trying to locate it.
Do we have a date when we can have them all finished?
I would love to be able to tell you that, but
Well,
I don't have that.
that's why I'm
answer today.
challenging you to tell me. But
I will get that date for you, Ron. I don't know it today.
I understand.
All right, we'll go to Jerry and then come to Katie next.
Hey,
Jerry?
Sean, is there a contractor, are they going for change orders, or is the contract holding where it's supposed to be? Is the
Yeah.
contractor doing his job and not wanting a bunch of change orders?
No, it's looking really good right now. There was a minor change order with the pit versus the pumps on top of the concrete. That was all settled within the contingency. We still got probably 40-something thousand left in that. And I think we started with 50, so we're in real good shape.
So the contractor's doing his job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Brian, more than anything, is really watching that and keeping close eye on that.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, Katie?
That was similar to my question, just other than the timeline, is Brian and are you all happy with how things are going? And then also, if we say, if once the contractor is aware that we are not going to be opening the pool, do you think there will create less of a sense of urgency, or are they still bound to a timeline, even though we can't open the pool?
They are still bound to a
Okay.
timeline. The only thing that they've been given is a few days as a result of the rain and the weather and the supply issue. Yeah, they're still held to a timeline.
Other questions or comments for Sean? Okay, Sean, thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate your report. The next item on the agenda is mayor's comments, and while we're on that topic, I do want to say that I'm very disappointed that the pool's not going to open. I remember as a young person when I was in school, before I had my license, that was some of the best memories of my life, and I don't want our young people and our adults to miss any time there. But I think we need to acknowledge that that pool is over 30 years old, and it was at the point, to Ronnie's point, where it was going to have to be shut down if we didn't do something to get it repaired. The entire deck is being removed and replaced. It was not safe. The pool itself and all the plumbing related to the pool, my understanding, all that's being replaced. And my hope is that we can replace it and do it right, where we have it fixed for the next 30 years. And I would encourage everyone to look at the long term. I think that that's what we need to do. I'd certainly like to be able to get it opened even if it was late. But also to Sean's point, when you hiring lifeguards and pool staff, if they've only got a few weeks of a window to work, they're not going to accept that job. They're going to go to another job, and you have to have the people to do the work to have it open. So I think that needs to be acknowledged. And also, I do want to compliment Sean and Priscilla. When the bad news came out, they immediately started working for ways that we could at least open the splash pad. And we'll have to move the fencing and all that. to make that accessible, but also in creating other activities, especially for the young people, to do through the summer where the pool's not going to be available. But again, I'm disappointed, but again, 30 years it had to be replaced, and the safety of the people who use it is really the highest priority for us, in my opinion. And without repairing it, we could not guarantee that safety.
Bruce?
Ronnie?
On the pool, are they any way to work an agreement out for the college pool to be used during the summer with the college?
I don't know, Ronnie.
Would you talk with the president or whoever, see if we could?
Sean and I'll try to come up with a plan, because to Steve's point, we have a team that uses that. We're going to have to reach out to the team, and I think it's incumbent on us to do everything we can do to help them.
It'd be nice if the college would let us use it to let people have a pool for the summer.
Thank you. Carrying on with the mayor's comments, I did acknowledge some of our board members here, but we have several other people in the audience. And I noticed that Martin Richards from our Planning Commission is on, and I've asked Martin from one of the Planning Commission members to serve on our Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. Amanda and I have. So, Martin, glad that you're here, and also Donna Brewer and Bill West from our Tourism Commission. I didn't see you guys slip in until just a minute ago, and want to acknowledge that you're here and appreciate your work on behalf of the city and the people. I think I caught everybody then. So did want to recognize them where I'd recognize some other board members and thank them for their service. The next item on the agenda is council comments, and we'll begin with Ms. Centers.
Well, thank you to everybody who has come out tonight, and so many of you have stayed and toughed it out through the boring stuff. The one thing that I want to mention is spring cleanup will be the week of April 21st through the 25th. And so if you've got junk out and you've done your spring cleaning, now it's time to get rid of it all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Teresa. Katie?
Thanks. Really great to have so many folks here. Thank you all for being here. I wanted to commend Delaney. I was so impressed with her presentation. I'm really disappointed for the reason for her being here, but wow, she's got a bright future. It's pretty exciting to hear her vision, and I'm really excited that there's a way that we all can support that important work, and in addition, continue to support the other things, other programs and ways we can support with the community school as they're going through this horrible time. One of the things that I wanted to highlight that our Director of Business Development, Donna Angel, has put together that a few city staff and council members are a part of is a small business startup workshop. Donna's done a great job of bringing together some really helpful people that you would want to know if you were an entrepreneur in Berea. And it's so hard, I think, sometimes when you're trying to get a business started, you don't know where to start. And so I think from my perception, Donna kind of heard that and put together a really great event. We were joking, at least I think I was joking, maybe no one else. It almost was like speed dating was one of the ideas that I had, but instead of speed dating, it's like you're meeting a great accountant, or you're meeting an insurance agent, or you're talking to Melissa Isaacs at Codes about what that means for when you want to start a business. And it's going to be more formal than speed dating, but that's the vibe. It's casual and quick and that kind of thing. So that event is happening on Thursday from 11 to 4 at the Folk Center. There is information about it on the city's Facebook page. There's a free lunch, so if folks want a guaranteed lunch, they should register on the Eventbrite page, or they can also RSVP to dangel@bereaky.gov. And I just want to thank Donna for pulling that together. I think it's going to be a really fun event. So, yeah.
Thank you, Katie. John?
Well, looks like we'll be having our next regular parks meeting next Tuesday. Speaking of parks, a lot of people saw the video of our dog park being underwater a little over a week ago. And I really want to reach out and thank the Parks Department, Public Works Department. They have absolutely been amazing. From what I understand, there was about 3 tons of debris that were removed from the dog park. getting everything cleaned out, cleaned up, and ready for the public to use again. And just thank you.
Thank you, John. Steve?
I think I'm gonna have to echo most of what Katie said. The event Donna's doing should be great. Part of my staff plans to be there, so we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully it'll be informative. Appreciate everybody coming out. It's always fun to see a good large crowd of the public as well as other officials in the community. I know a lot of times you just hear us do a bunch of yays and yeses and whatnot, and doesn't seem like it's a whole lot of importance, but a lot of those things we did tonight were important, especially the proclamations and the resolutions in particular for those organizations. Support the gala, Special Needs Gala. Go to that. It's a really cool event. And also the young lady who did the JAG thing, we need to support that. That's a big goal, but they got 10K and 37 to go. So see what we can do for them.
Thank you, Steve. Jerry?
I want to talk about a couple of issues. One's a safety and one's a maintenance. You know, it's grass cutting season, and, you know, people probably don't pay much attention. When you throw that grass out on the street and a motorcycle or something comes around, you know, it's very dangerous. It's really a dangerous situation. That, of course, that's the safety of it, but then the maintenance part of it is it washes in our storm drains, and it crusties over top of the storm drain. Then it rains hard, we get a flooding issue. And if everybody would just try to, you know, take your lawnmower and blow it out of the street if you can, and don't put nothing out there that'll get down in our drains. And like Teresa said, for spring cleanup, be sure and keep it out of curb and gutter of the drain, so it won't be stopping them up if it rains. And that's all I say. Just try to do the best we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Steve?
I had lots of things I was going to say. My head's still spinning from the pool thing. The people who gave presentations tonight, all those were incredibly good, and thank you to Nicole and Delaney for coming to do that. Tonight's one of those nights where we have several board appointments, and you know, thank you to all the people who are willing to step up and serve. Those are, I mean, none of us do this because it's a job where you get thanked very often, or because you make lots of money doing it. And so it's a thankless job that is necessary for our city, and all of these different boards are very important for the different things that we do. One thing I thought of that I didn't ask at the time, have we notified the Dolphins?
They wouldn't promise this.
We are. I think so.
Do they know?
They do now.
We probably ought to tell them in like the next 30 minutes, because it's going to blow up, just FYI. Okay, because it'll be, I would say just let them know as soon as possible so that they don't find out on Facebook in about 15 minutes, because I'm sure that it'll be there somewhere.
Thank you, Steve. Cora Jane?
I just want to thank everybody for coming, and the presenters, Nicole, and what she does with that, and for the kids and the gala. That's, if you've never seen pictures, or I've never had the opportunity to go, but maybe this year I can, and really great. And if we can donate, you know, I'm a graduate of Brick Community, so once a pirate, always a pirate. And but that seems like a really good thing. That little girl's going to go far. I say little, but I just mean young. But she's little. But anyway, thank you all for coming. It's great to see you, and all the board appointments. It is a thankless job a lot of times, and you get yelled at, but thank you for serving. I appreciate it. As a citizen, I do. Thank you all.
Thank you, Cora Jane. Ronnie?
I want to thank the street department for all the work they done about cleaning the trees and stuff up for the city, because I tell you what, I've never seen it flood as bad as it did, and the wind blowing and stuff. And they really done a good job. And the utilities, I mean, they kept the lights on, and that's what we pay them for. But And I agree with what everybody said tonight, so that's it.
Thank you, Ronnie. That brings us to the end of the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So
By
moved.
Steve Davis and second by John. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The